at the station of decapitation without your head. I'm Nasty Neil, and I'm joined by Tamar and Kaelin Lamberson. It's good to have you both here.
It's good to be here.
Good to be here.
Yeah. So can you let everyone know, we'll get more into it, but briefly, what is Valkyrie Film Festival?
So the Valkyrie International Film Festival showcases films directed by women of all backgrounds.
And when did like the idea for not just when did it come about, but when did like you first come up with the idea?
It was during my husband's film festival. This was when Buffalo Dreams was still on. And after that festival, just came up with the idea of, I approached Kaelin and said, what do you think of just forming a festival and showcasing films directed by women? And we got that idea because it just seemed like a lot of the films that were shown in the festival, there weren't many films shown that were directed by women. So I just thought it would be a great idea just to have a festival, just focusing on that.
Do you think there's any reason for that? Like, you think there were a lot of female filmmakers out there and they weren't submitting films, or they're just, what do you think the reason was?
I think there are definitely a lot of female filmmakers because we've gotten a lot of submissions from many women, and this is only our third year coming up now. Mm-hmm. So they definitely exist. I think one of the problems is maybe they aren't submitting, or they are submitting and some people just don't understand what messages they're trying to portray with their films. And an example of this, we love bringing this up. In our first year, we showed a film called Misunderstood Monster. And the women in the audience immediately got what it was about. It was directed by Lindsay Serrano. It was about a woman and her monster, her period. And the guys in the audience were not laughing at a lot of the jokes. And a lot of them didn't even get it even after the end. But then you could hear it click with them later. And that's an example. Maybe some of these film festivals, the ones that accept films, the people accepting the films, they might not understand.
Right.
Like that.
That's something, a lot of people probably don't even think about. It's not necessarily someone's like, oh, I don't want a female director at my festival, but it might be all men or whoever, and they just don't understand the film.
From the, it's just different watching the film with a mostly female audience. Mm-hmm. It's just a different vibe.
Your time with Buffalo Dreams, because it went on for a long time. How did that change? Because you said there weren't a lot of female filmmakers, but there were starting to be more, I think, as time went on. But how did that change from the first few till later on? Were there more eventually?
I think so. But I just think that it's just mostly a lot of men directing films, and they're the ones that are submitting the most films. And maybe also, a lot of the women prefer to submit to festivals, that just focused on female filmmakers. That could also be it too.
They would feel more comfortable. I'd say a lot of the directors, the feedback we've received has been they've always felt supported, and that we do have a different feeling. We have a different atmosphere.
I know this short now because Greg mentions Misunderstood Monster starred Heather Buckley as the period demon, and I remember because it played along with my short at a couple festivals I was at. They're completely different, but they happen to be booked together in a few.
Did you notice in the audience how the reaction?
Yeah, I've noticed that on different festivals. I know one year at Boston Underground Film Festival they had a few that were about similar subjects, and you could definitely tell audience reaction. It's too bad Annabelle isn't here, because when I started to go to conventions and festivals with Annabelle, I noticed how people would treat her differently at different. It's the things that kind of I didn't notice. There were more, not so much at festivals. I think festivals are a little bit, but at some of the conventions, there's definitely some very creepy people, which. I just didn't notice before because it wasn't happening to me.
Yeah, I think men are probably a little more oblivious to that stuff.
Right. But yeah, it was definitely, and she really wanted to be here, but things are going on.
Yeah, I know. She was excited about the festival, and we really wanted, to speak to her. Not that you're not excited about Valkyrie, but she just seemed like a little more excited than you.
I understand. So how did you come up with the name? Whose idea was the name?
It's mine. I came up with it because I like Norse mythology, and I don't know if you heard that. That was my cat.
And cats.
Yeah,
that's Xander.
Yeah, I know Greg's not so big on the cats.
No, that's asshole one, according to my dad. I like the Norse Valkyries, and we were trying to think of empowering names. Dad, can you please let Xander out? Thank you. He's out. Okay, give him love, please. And then it was between that or the Furies of Greek mythology, because I'm also into Greek mythology. But I thought that the Furies of Greek mythology might come off as more standoffish and maybe misandrous. So we went with Valkyries.
Yeah, and who created the logo? Because it's a great logo.
We ran a contest. It's called Hatchwise. And what you do is you get, different packages, different prices depending on how many people you want submitting their logos, and then you pick the best one. So that's what we did. We ran a contest. We told them exactly what we wanted, and then we picked the best ones. It was down to like 3 of them, I think, that we thought were really cool, but that one just stood out to us.
And the person who designed this one, funnily enough, he pointed out which ones were clip art to us, so you could tell he was in it to win it.
Yeah, you have to be careful with those contests, because you just never know what's clip art. And
now what would be AI?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mentioned Buffalo Dreams, like over the years how that changed. Actually, since you just did your second one. How many more submissions did you get from the first to the second?
Maybe.
Or was it about the same?
We got more this year. Probably 25 more films this year. Or last year, excuse me. Yeah.
Last year. So hopefully, we'll get a lot more this year. It was really hard just rejecting a lot of the movies because they were so good. We received a lot of great movies, and that's the hard part for me is just.
And we accepted too many. As it was, we were stretched really thin with our scheduling. So we definitely have to be more selective.
Yeah, people ask how do you choose, but I think that's actually is the harder part. I do a festival. It's online, so it's not as big and everything, but still, I have a hard time saying no to anybody.
Yeah, people think that that's the easiest part. You could just reject, the films. It's no big deal, but it is a big deal. At least to us.
That's someone's art. That's someone's work that they put a lot of effort into, and to say, it doesn't, but I think it's nice to help them understand it didn't fit for whatever reason. And
maybe it was too long, and we just couldn't accept it. I know we got a couple of messages last year, people who were really, down because we rejected their films, and it's nothing personal.
Yeah, I always mention that if you make something really short, you probably have a better chance of getting in, because at least, hey, this is 3 minutes. I can put it in here. But and I like that you have, specific genre. It's all genres.
All genres.
Yeah.
So when you put those together, though, do you put certain genres together for certain blocks, or what's the thought process to put the films?
It just depends on the films. A lot of them have similar themes, and we like putting those together.
But then when it comes to scheduling and which filmmakers are coming and how much time they might need for a Q&A, we can't really keep it thematic, which just sucks. But,
we had 3 different horror blocks last year, horror sci-fi blocks.
And, it's kind of good that we mix it up, though, in the end, because then when somebody goes to see one film, they get something else that they weren't expecting, and maybe they end up enjoying it or learning something really valuable. And this is also one, by the way.
Hello. Yeah. Very cute, I think. But I always like that about festivals in general. It's stuff that I probably wouldn't see otherwise. And the short blocks are a lot like that, because for one thing, you're probably not going to see them with audience, any other way. And then there's also, this is going to date me, but a mixtape you would have like you didn't want all the same music. You kind of want it to go up and down like this. So
Yes.
that's something to think about, I think, when you're putting together, the movie.
Yeah, a lot of the films that we show, it actually, what's important to us is show films that kind of elicit some kind of emotion. And that's very important to us, fun, get all the films that make you laugh, cry, whatever. It's just, we love showing a mixture of those films. And people seem to love that we do it.
Yeah. Was that always right away you came to that decision? We're just going to show all genres, or did you think about, we'll specify, underground, or was it just always like, we're going to show?
Yeah, it was always all genres.
And when do the new submissions? When can people start submitting for the next one?
Submissions are open now.
Oh, they are, okay.
Yeah. The early deadline ends August 31st, excuse me. Regular deadline ends November 30th. Late deadline, hi Riley, my other cat came here, asshole number 2. Late deadline ends December 31st, and our extended deadline, January 24th, 2025.
Okay, cool. And those are all through Film Freeway?
Exactly, yes.
And I think the links are right on the website, which I'll link for everybody. So, what was the experience like doing the first one? Because I know you were around film festivals, but actually putting your own together.
Yeah, it was a lot of hard work.
And we had 6 months to put it all together because it was our first year. And we wanted to hold it during Women's History Month. So we really had to cram in a lot.
Yeah.
And we really didn't know what to expect. We didn't know if we were going to, get enough submissions, but we did. We got a lot of great submissions the first year. And, the reaction was great. And a lot of filmmakers traveled to go to the festival. And that makes it, special because they interact. They meet each other. And the interesting thing is that first year, a lot of people that met at that festival, they started collaborating. And, they worked on their next movie, which we actually showed the second year. So a lot of these people that met and, decided they wanted to work with each other made another movie.
Yeah, an example, like to get specific, one of our first time filmmakers, Joe O'Donnell, worked with a director from Massachusetts, Julia Tutko-Balina. We showed 2 of her films our first year. And one of her characters, she acted in it too. Riley, stop. Fortune teller. She was a fortune teller. And Joe really liked that character. So she asked if she could somehow incorporate that character in her first film. And they made it work. And then with the, networking aspect on top of that, we just started noticing that BAM Management has been recruiting some of the directors because of last year's film festival. So far, we've seen 2 of our directors. They've recently been recruited. Yeah, Joe O'Donnell and Victoria Hutton. So that's really cool.
I think that's always one of the best parts for me about festivals are the community aspect. And then, people get to know each other, see their other work, and they can work, collaborate down the road. I think that's wild.
And the best thing is when we get all the directors together to take a picture in front of the banner. It's just very cool. They love doing that. And I don't know, it's just such a great feeling.
Yeah, for the pictures, I remember our first year, Lindsay Serrano had the idea of like having a muscle up. I'm trying to do it. It's looking awful. Like muscle up in front of our banner. Yeah. And our first banner had like miniature like circles for our logos.
Yeah.
For our first year. Second year, we had like a large logo. And I stumbled upon this by accident. Somebody was standing in front of it. And it looked like they had wings. So then we started using that as a pose. And a lot of people posed in front of it to have wings, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's great. Mm-hmm. So what was it like working on it together? Daughter and mother.
The best thing. We love watching the movies together. That's one of the.
Are you the 2 judges for the submissions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you ever butt heads on like? I think this one works. And
sometimes she would like something more than I do, or vice versa. But most of the time, we agree on everything.
And I also like that. So it's I know. Is it anything from 2001 or on? So it doesn't have to be something that was just made like the last year.
Yeah, so I believe it's on our website. Is it 2021?
That's what I meant.
Change that? Did we update that?
I think we updated it.
Give them a few years anyways.
Yeah, we usually give them a few years. It doesn't have to be like the very exact year that the festival's happening in, or the year before that. We give them a few years.
Yeah, because I have some in mind that the filmmakers that I like that I've had on the show that I was going to suggest it to, because there's some really great female directed shorts I've seen festivals around the country. And
maybe you'll come to Valkyrie.
Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah, I'll get Annabelle. You can see how great it is, and it's just very different.
Yeah,
but it's a good different.
Right. Yeah.
How far are you?
I'm in Massachusetts, but I'm
you're not that far.
No, it's not that far.
we
I'm
get
on the Cape, though. I'm all the way to the end, but it's still not that far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to Buffalo. I've been to Buffalo Dreams a lot of times, so it was good. Yeah, back then Jason would go with me, but
Jason is that your brother or
no? It's he used to do the reviews on the website.
Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't watch horror movies anymore.
No, he doesn't like horror movies.
No, and I don't know. It was like
which
he was
one ruined it for
him
him
for a while.
Yeah, something must have happened.
Which horror movie ruined it?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'll have to ask him, and we'll find out. Now, since we are a horror movie show, are you both horror movie fans?
Not as much as my dad.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we're big horror fans, but
I mean, I definitely
do like horror movies.
I like horror, and I don't even realize it. Really, I didn't realize until recently how important it was to me. Like, because sometimes things just come out of my mouth, and people are shocked, and I don't realize. Like, for example, like in my one of my classes, like I don't remember how it came up in conversation, but like there was going to be death, and like it just popped out of my mouth, like they sliced their throat across, and like they're like, oh, you'd make your dad proud with a comment like that, and I didn't even realize how like inappropriate or grotesque
it comes out
because it's
in
just
like her writing, her poetry, her singing. She writes songs and she wants to do a music video, and it's all very dark.
And I remember like when I'm watching things with my dad and like there are bloody scenes or something, we'd both laugh, and my mom would look at us like we're crazy.
It's like, oh my God.
I approve. Sounds good to me. Do you have a favorite horror movie?
Oh God. I think some of the horror movies I can think of on the top of my head. I love The Thing. That's really good. I like the new It and the original It.
Yes. I like both of them too. I like that Pennywise is different in each one. I can't say either one's better than the other. I just think I like that they played them different.
Yeah. And when I was younger, my dad showed me The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, Tim Burton's The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. I don't know if that's like really horror, but that was like one of my favorite horror movies when I was like 7 or 8.
We watched Carrie last night.
Oh, we did watch Carrie last night because I'm going to prom tomorrow.
I do like Evil Dead.
Oh, Evil Dead's good.
Evil Dead's good. Yeah.
Evil Dead.
That's a great prom movie. They get really excited for prom.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like The Craft.
What can go wrong?
The Craft is good.
Yeah.
Craft is really good.
American Werewolf in London. I think I like Ginger Snaps too.
Ginger Snaps.
That was really good.
The Howling, American Werewolf in London.
Oh, and then Lost Boys. That's really good too.
Yeah. You like vampires.
I do. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is one of my favorite shows, hands down.
Oh, but I've actually never seen the show.
Oh my God. You have to watch Buffy.
You definitely have to watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I saw the movie like when I was in high school.
Oh, it's different. The movie's different.
Yeah. And I think Greg mentioned this, but so you don't have any like interest in making films, writing a film, directing a film?
Well, she wants to do a music video.
Yeah, if I have the time, like, because I wrote a song last year for my music theory class, and I really do want to make a movie about it, like a mini movie, like a music video, because I think it also has important messages. My song is about my experience with medical gaslighting, so I think it'd be really important to make like a short film about it, a music video.
That was really dark.
It was a dark time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's. I think it's good to use, something bad experience and make something out of it.
Yes.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Way to express yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How are you doing right now?
With my medical stuff?
Yeah.
I I've gotten used to it. So, I mean, it's always going to be there. There's like no cure for it. Chronic illness is always going to be there. So now it's not like completely debilitating, but it flares up, unexpectedly sometimes, and I have to deal with that. But I know how to deal with it. It's just annoying.
It took some time to get used to.
Yeah.
I know my mom's going to be very nervous because I have an app for my Dexcom, my continuous glucose monitor. It reads my blood sugar. And I have it so both my parents can check their phones and see what my blood sugar is. So I know when I go off to college, if I have a low blood sugar alert, she's going to start calling me like crazy. Or just like if I don't pick up, she's going to think worst case scenario, Greg, we're going to drive to Ithaca right now. Even though it's like
2.5 hours
Yeah,
away,
it's 2.5 hours away. It's 10 o'clock at night, but it doesn't matter. We need to go there right now.
Yeah. But she's dealing with it. She has it under control as much as she can.
When you go to college, obviously the next festival is coming up in next year, but are you going to keep running the festival?
Yeah. It's going to be different because my mom and I usually watch movies side by side like this. So we're going to try to watch them like while we're on the phone or on Zoom. And then, we'll see if that works out.
Yeah. Zoom or StreamYard has good, you can share screens and.
Yeah, it's just fun watching the movies with her.
Yeah. But if you can't actually be in the same room, with technology, you can still watch them together. So.
Yes, exactly.
I like that. So, Valkyrie Film Festival. I'll put the
Valkyrie.
Valkyrie. How do you say it?
Valkyrie.
So Val.
I said it multiple ways, I think, throughout the show.
Or you could say Viv.
Viv. All right, Viv. And I'll put up the link, and everyone can click on there and go there. It'll be like magic. And so multiple genres, as long as a female director. It can be a few years old. I like all this stuff.
And you're gonna come.
I would love to come.
Yeah, we're gonna hold you to that.
What's the date of the third one?
March 20.
Do you want to say it, Dad? Do you? No. Yeah, that's what we thought, Dad. Okay.
March 28th to April 1st.
That's actually an important date to me. That's people. Sometimes I think people think it's annoying to bring up. But anyway, that's the date I quit drinking 5 years ago. So that'll be the sixth anniversary of me not drinking anymore.
It's the perfect way to celebrate.
Exactly.
Well, the venue serves alcohol.
Dad, can you just
we're trying to.
I've been around it. It's fine. So.
Yeah, the venue also has amazing root beer floats. So and Loganberry floats, hot cocoa, coffee, and popcorn.
I like popcorn. Yeah, popcorn and black coffee is like my go-to thing.
Yes.
I do like the Loganberry. I haven't had any since I was in Buffalo.
That's good. Yeah. And then you have to come and get the beef on weck.
Yeah, that's what I've been. Whenever I see anyone saying they're going to Buffalo and they talk about wings, I was like, forget Buffalo wings. You get those anywhere. Get beef on weck.
Yes.
That's
even though I'm not a big fan of that.
Oh, really? Well,
I
guess
I'm my father's daughter, and you have to have it with horseradish.
I agree 100% horseradish. Yeah, I mean, like I live where every place I go to has lobster rolls, so I never order an lobster roll. But if someone comes here and say get a lobster roll, I guess that maybe it's kind of
sounds interesting.
We should definitely, if we visit, because all the Red Lobsters in Western New York are closed.
No. Yeah, we had one here years ago, and it didn't stay open long. But the thing was, you could get fresh, seafood everywhere where I live. You can go shake a tree and a lobster will fall out. I've said that joke before, and someone actually thought I was serious, and I was like,
"Yeah,
no." And how about yourself, Tamar? Have you ever thought of writing or directing something?
I actually wrote a feature, just as an experiment, just to see if I could. It was about a witch, and I had Greg look it over. And of course, I had to rewrite it so many times because of all the notes he had.
In red pen.
Yes, in red pen. But it was like effects heavy. He's like, oh, this is great. It'll cost like $1 million to make. So it was an interesting experience.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. So, and I guess it's directors from all over the world. Where's the furthest someone came to actually be there?
UK.
And that was last year.
Mm-hmm.
They were great.
Yeah. Amelie Leroy from Wilderness.
Yeah, that was a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
And how about just submissions? Were there submissions from all over the world?
Oh yeah, we've gotten submissions from Spain, UK, Canada, like Peru and Chile. Where else? Australia, Iran, place like all over.
The last festivals out there was not a lot, but there was several shorts from Iran. I thought it was interesting that it seems like there's more art coming out of there.
Yes.
So, it's cool. And that's another great thing about festivals in general. You're going to see stuff that
you don't know.
You're probably you're not going to see, and you're going to. A lot of that stuff's interesting because it's just a different culture than us, even regardless of what it's about.
You get a different perspective.
Yeah. So why was this important for you both to do the festival?
Well, I've always been surrounded by film my entire life, but what made Valkyrie so important to me is that I'm a feminist, and that's really important. It's a big part of who I am, and this is like one of the most feminist things out there because it's about uplifting women and making sure that they're seen and heard in a field that's like dominated by men. So, and it gives them a chance to shine and make more friends, network, empower one another, and I think that's really important.
Yes.
And Tamar, do you have a similar reason, or?
Yeah. I just thought that it was important for, women directors to be spotlighted because I don't think that they often do get spotlighted. So I think it's important. And, they have important messages and they have a different perspective. And, if you come to our festival, Neil, you'll be able to see exactly what we're talking about. Even with the different genres, it's just a different feeling.
Yeah, I don't just like horror movies. I do the horror show, but I like all film.
I'm a big action fan too.
All right. So, I asked the favorite horror movie. Do you have a favorite action film, Tamar?
Oh, Die Hard, Aliens, Terminator, Guns of Eden.
Directed by Gregory Lamberson. Right.
Yeah, I went to see on Christmas Eve. When I was in LA a couple of years ago, Die Hard. It was they showed it for Christmas, and I was like, and then I watched it again. I was like, it is a Christmas movie. All the music throughout the whole movie.
It is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, the whole score is.
I don't believe it's a Christmas movie either.
Any excuse to watch it, right?
Yeah, right. It's Christmas. Well, it's like Carrie is your prom movie, so we've got.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. So I'll be there next year. You said that I think you said August was the first deadline, and then there's other deadlines.
Yeah.
When do you announce? Are you going again? Sorry.
Yeah. So our early deadline ends August 31st. Our regular deadline ends November 30th. Our late deadline ends December 31st, and our extended deadline ends January 24th, 2025. And
when will you announce who was accepted?
I believe it's like first week of February. Yeah.
Sounds good. So there's a lot of time for people to submit their films. Mm-hmm. And I see a lot of stuff doing the show. So if I see something cool, I will suggest.
And we've already started receiving some really cool movies. So
yeah, like the first day we opened, we had like 6 submissions, which is really exciting.
Yeah. So you got to watch those together.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you watch them as they come in? I mean, maybe not like the.
We try to.
It depends on my school schedule.
Yeah. Well, and congratulations, Kaelin.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, what are you pursuing in college?
Currently, I'm thinking about majoring in English, and I've been debating whether to add a minor or a double major with Spanish because I really am interested in languages, and I'm also like Hispanic, and I want to get closer to that side of me. And I have a Duolingo streak of like over 1,000 days with Spanish, and people like college advisors and counselors have always advised, try something that that you're really interested in. And I think that shows that I'm interested in learning Spanish.
She didn't want to learn when she was younger. She would get really upset and frustrated because, she didn't understand it. And then now it's like her Spanish is better than mine with the Duolingo.
But like, yeah, the reason I really regret it when I was younger, when you get frustrated, you would just like throw a tantrum and say, I quit. That's what I did. And my mom would try to get me into Spanish, but I was very stubborn. So she just dropped it. And then I got excited in middle school because we have to start taking Spanish then. And I really enjoyed it. And I just want to be better able to understand my family too. I think that's important.
Yeah. Well, I like that. So, and congratulations on that. I know I see on Greg's post, he's very excited for you and very proud.
Yes, he is. We're both very proud of him.
Yeah. I just don't see I don't see you posting on social media.
No, I'm not.
I assume you were. Yeah.
Poster, yeah.
Yeah, mom doesn't post nearly as much as my dad posts, but she's proud of me, and she's also an introvert too. So she likes keeping to herself usually.
How about yourself? Would you be more like your mom in that area or more like your dad?
Oh my God. So for the social media aspect, probably more like my mom, even though I always like post a lot on my story. Dad's shaking his head like
she posts so much more than I do.
But the reason I do, like, I just like scroll on my feed. I'm like, oh, I like this. Let me just share it. But I don't like that I do that. It's an addiction and I hate it about myself. I really dislike social media. I tell myself when I'm older, I want to just completely like throw my phone away and go off and live in the mountains, away from society, away from people.
But I think she's a mixture of me and Greg.
Yeah, I'm an extrovert, but I definitely have my introverted moments. Like, I like people, but I also need to recharge. And sometimes, most of the time, because a lot of people suck, I prefer reading a book.
That's a good motto, I think. Yeah.
Well, that's what's so great about doing the festival, right, Kaelin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually didn't even have a phone until I met Annabelle, and she's like, "You don't have a phone?" I'm like,
wow.
No. And then she made a monster because now I'm like obsessed with my phone. I can definitely see how it's an addiction because I'm on my phone all the time.
Yeah, and something I've noticed, like my teachers, like some of them don't have Instagram or Facebook. They don't have any social media, and they're the happiest people you'd ever meet.
Yeah. I kind of have to have all the social media.
Yeah, for businesses, like for promoting. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I tell myself, and then I just post a lot of nonsense. But
nonsense.
Yeah, basically, yeah. All right. Well, today's been a good day. Someone was found guilty on all 34 counts.
Oh yeah.
Woohoo! Literally in front of us right now on our TV screen.
Yeah, we're gonna have the news on all night.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Daddy.
I'm sorry, I did not. Tamar is actually a producer.
Oh yeah.
And of course, Kaelin co-starred in Widow's Point opposite Craig Scheffler. So I was there for the premiere of that in Buffalo. What was that experience like?
Okay, so I don't know if you believe in ghosts or not, but when we were shooting on location at the White House, it's rumored that there were 2 ghosts, kids who drowned in Lake Erie. And you can believe it or not, but I had fun. Like, I created a communication system that they still use there. So, like, I got pieces of paper and I wrote, like, numbers, letters, colors, just anything so people could, like, converse.
Yes and no, I think you.
I also had yes, no, maybe. And like I'd have a
reason I put on a Ouija board.
Oh my god.
It's a weird connection.
Yeah. And you would roll the ball and then it would just like roll back. And I don't know.
You could say answer.
Yeah. You could say it's tilted floors.
Weird.
You could say it's tilted floors, but there were different answers. And sometimes it would stop and then it would change directions and then go another way.
Yeah.
So I think that was really cool. And there wasn't any like ventilation either. So you couldn't say that it was like the wind or like fans.
And there were some like strange occurrences during filming.
Yeah, like, there was something so funny. Oh my god. So with Craig Scheffler, the star, you had this like energy reader, and when I put it on his bicep, it started like flaring. And there was like another like woman. There was another woman ghost rumored to be there too. So we suspect it might have been her if she was
I think
there.
She liked them.
That was really funny.
Yeah, that's wild. So, do you believe in ghosts then, I assume? Or maybe you didn't until then, or I don't know.
I definitely believed in them then. I'd say
Maybe.
I think
It's
I
a
would never
maybe.
I would never play with a Ouija board. I'm too afraid.
Yeah.
Like I would not risk that.
Yeah, so I never believed in anything like that. And then Annabelle and I used the Ouija board in a cemetery by me
Oh
late at
gosh.
night. And we were actually getting answers and like
Oh, that's so
and it was
creepy.
really like mundane stuff. It was I
Yeah.
always think like if you're gonna make some up, even if like not consciously, like it would be something, you know, scary, but it was just like real normal stuff. And anyway, we asked something like if their wife was there and if they were like around where we were, and then it just kind of floated around and didn't give it any answer at all. Then it just stopped, and I knew that place was haunted, but I didn't know why. It's been on like sci-fi channel and stuff, like different shows, and so I looked into it afterwards, and the reason it's considered haunted is when they built the Cape Cod Canal by me, it flooded the cemetery, and so a lot of the bodies aren't in the right places. They're not under the right tombstones. So then I started thinking about how it just kind of floated around when I was asking if it was like in the area, because I was like, maybe it didn't even know where it really is. And so anyway, part of it's your head starts putting stuff into it, but it was still it was an interesting experience.
Yeah, definitely. That's how it was with the Widow's Point.
Yeah.
And the cameras caught something strange too.
Oh my god, yeah. That was
and the cameraman, he just couldn't explain it. He's like, this never happens.
Yeah.
Did he use that in the movie, or did he keep it anyway? Or
I don't believe so.
No, right?
No, it was a weird glitch.
Yeah.
That said it's a weird glitch. Okay. So yeah, not used.
And a couple of people said that they felt someone like touching them.
Oh yeah, I did too. So funny story, before like the ghost and I became like friends, became friends.
Yeah.
I felt something like touching me before, and it was harmless, but then it started getting like kind of gropey and I got scared. So then I talked to Dave, who was in charge of the lighthouse, and like he talked to them, and then I was left alone, but then they became nicer. I don't know. It could have just been my head, but like
the Dave said that he spoke to them,
and like it's
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
How about
a story like one time he was carrying groceries or something, and like he had a story like he almost had something fall on him, but something prevented it until he walked away and then it fell. So there are things like that too, like where the ghosts like looked out for him.
Wow. Have you ever been back to the lighthouse since?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anything else happened when you went back, or?
No.
I guess you weren't in as often. What was the experience like acting? Was it something that you enjoyed, that you would like to do more of, or?
I think it's a fun hobby for sure. I remember when I was like crying in the scene, those are my real tears because I was so tired. Like we woke up at like 5 a.m. and I had to keep shooting the scenes, and like my dad was pushing me and I was utterly exhausted. But he was like he's like,
yeah, he
actually upset me, and then he's like,
and then he used it. He's like, perfect.
Yeah. But yeah, so there was that, and I really liked singing because I sang for Widow's Point too. Like that's my voice in the credits. That was really fun too.
And then what's the experience like watching yourself on the big screen? So you're at the premiere and the movie's playing.
I think it's so awkward, and then like I hear my voice too, and I'm like, why is my voice so high pitched? Why do I sound like that? Why do I look so weird? And blah blah blah. Because like you're always critical of yourself, I think.
Yeah. So is it something?
I did the voiceover of the prostitute for Naked Fear.
Okay.
Oh, really?
And that was really weird, hearing my voice on this lady who was showing her boobs. And my line was, so how would you like it? So it was really weird hearing my voice.
And then you were a nose job girl in Killer Rack.
Yeah.
Like you actually had
that was very hard to watch.
Yeah, because like she was wearing these tacky earrings, these tacky clothes, and like you also made a kissy face before, didn't you? Like
yeah. Yeah, that
like watching that is so funny. Yeah. Oh, and then I had like Widow's Point was like my biggest role, but I would always make little cameos in my dad's films, like small parts. Oh, my favorite part too, like I think in Widow's Point, I love the costumes. That was so much fun.
Yeah, that was nice.
And getting my hair and makeup done.
Yeah. And what was Craig like?
I'm sorry?
What was Craig like? Like Craig Sheffer?
Oh, he was so really nice.
he had this like van. So whenever it got hot, because we were shooting in summer, I would like go in his van, which is like air conditioned, and he brought his dog, Miss Piggy. Oh, she was so sweet, so adorable. And like when she heard him screaming in the film, because he had a part where he was screaming, she got actually distressed and started like barking and howling and like scratching the door trying to get to him. That was so sweet.
Yeah, his dog was very cute at the premiere.
Oh, I forgot that he brought his dog.
Yeah,
I was
that was
everywhere
cool
with him.
experience. That's a cool. Where can people see Widow's Peak?
So Widow's Point, I believe, is on
Widow's Point, I'm sorry.
Tubi. It's okay. It's Tubi, right, Dad? Widow's
Yeah.
Point?
Yeah.
Anywhere else, or is that it?
Oh, it's probably on Prime.
He said maybe on Prime.
That distributor's never going to pay us any money, so I don't even pay attention.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to bring that up then.
People
But
should
it's still
still
nice for
watch
people to
it,
see the
though.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guns of Eden. She's not in
Guns-
that. We watched that. We made
yeah.
money on that one.
All right. So yeah. All right. Fair enough. So if you watch Widow's Point, go and then watch Guns of Eden too.
Mm-hmm.
And you can make it a double feature.
Have you watched that one yet?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I saw an early cut of it before or maybe that was it's a different one. I think. No. Yeah. I saw an early cut of it that Greg sent me before it had the sound in it.
Oh,
Well, it had the sound effects in it, and then I seen it since too. But that's a really good movie,
yeah.
and not just because the Lambersons are here.
Because it really is a good movie.
Yes, yeah. I've been told not to say that by some people who listen to the show all the time. They're like, you can tell if I don't say that I probably don't actually like whatever I said that I like. If I don't say not just because you're here,
Right.
yeah, I probably shouldn't bring attention to that, I guess. Is there merch for VIF?
Yes, we do sell T-shirts and mugs. We also have pins and stickers for free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I would like the T-shirt because I think the logo is really cool.
We have PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App, and T-shirts are $25.
I think he probably wanted a free T-shirt.
No, that's fine. I understand. You can't give everybody free stuff. I get it. Maybe we can do a barter system.
Maybe we could get without your head.
Without your head, yeah. But we can barter.
We can exchange. Yeah. I like money.
That's also a good motto, I guess.
Yeah,
unfortunately, but yeah. All right. Well, this has been very fun, and I'm looking forward to VIF.
You're gonna be there.
I would love to be there.
We'll see.
I will be there unless
like,
there's always something that could come up. But
you're
if
gonna commit right now.
I would love to be there. Yeah.
He did
commit already.
Okay.
Out now.
We'll see what excuse he comes up.
If you don't come, you don't get a free shirt.
All right, that's fair. That is fair. I agree with that. Got to support the indies. Here, Co says he's going to buy something to support independent films, so we like that.
We also have sponsorships.
Oh yes.
So you could get more perks too that way.
Adrian had a question for you in there, too.
Oh, Adrian had a question for me? What was the question?
What do you like more, Slime City or Slime City Massacre?
Oh, I have to say Slime City Massacre.
Well, she was in Slime City
because
Massacre.
I'm in Slime City Massacre. I'm the baby girl who picks her nose and eats it because I used to eat my boogers.
I never show that.
Oh,
that part was cut.
I guess it was cut.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I was younger, I used to eat my boogers.
I'm sorry, Adrian. I missed that one. Yeah.
Also, Debbie Rashawn is in Slime City Massacre, and I love her. So.
Yes.
Yeah, she's great. I saw that she liked the post about the show tonight, so that was cool.
We love Debbie.
Yeah, she's a multiple-time guest on the show. She's very cool. Sorry if I missed any other questions here, but because it's streaming on multiple websites.
Okay.
Someone on Twitch is just sending spam apparently, so we don't need that.
We can't. No spam.
Yeah. Forget the spam. All right. So I'll have the link. So you can get sponsorships, you can get merchandise, you can submit your film, or you can share it out for everyone else, or do all of the above. It's not one or the other.
That's right.
Yeah, you can do them all. All right, this has been very fun, and we'll do it again sometime before VIF comes up.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
and maybe you'll have Annabelle on.
Yeah, I would love to. From what I understand, she's gonna take a hiatus from the show for a little bit, and but she'll be back on. She'll be part of the show eventually. We still are gonna do dinner and a movie episode, so we might do one of those this weekend for In a Violent Nature. But she'll be back on the podcast here.
Big thank you to her because she's the one that wanted.
Yeah, definitely.
And she wanted to, find out more about VIF. So, thank you to her.
Her going to the festivals was inspiring to her to create stuff too, because like when we were at a festival in Atlanta, and I'm terrible, I'm not gonna remember the name, but it was very inspiring to her because there's a lot of female filmmakers there, and filmmakers in general at the festivals are very encouraging to everyone. To make stuff. And for her, she said it was I don't want to speak for her, but she said on the show that it was special to her that other women were encouraging to other women, because sometimes she's been around people that aren't that way. So.
Yeah, definitely. It's a different feeling. Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, she'll be here next time. I'll make sure.
Okay.
But yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. But she was disappointed she couldn't be here.
Oh my God. Oh, my dad's showing me a baby picture. You were talking about Craig Sheffer. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's a baby picture of Craig
Sheffer.
He's a granddaddy.
Grandpa.
Oh, he's a grandpa. Okay.
Pop Sheffer. Oh no. Oh my God, Xander, he just fell.
Oh no.
His name's Leo Ray.
Leo Ray, named after Princess Leia and Ray.
Leo Ray. Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, his daughter was in Widow's Point.
Yeah, she was Rebecca the ghost.
Okay.
No, the widow.
Yeah.
Not just the ghost, because there were a lot of ghosts.
Right. Well, congratulations to both of them.
Yeah.
To the Sheffers. Yeah.
Oh,
that's very cool. Yeah. All right. Well, I will let you go, and we'll talk soon.
Nice chatting.
I'll see you guys. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. I'll kick you out here. I know.
Okay.
I always feel bad doing that, but it's also awkward not knowing how to get out.
No fifth shirt.
All right, that was great. Talking to Kaelin and Tamar Lamberson, VIF, Valkyrie International Film Festival. Hopefully I said that right. I'm bad sometimes with pronunciation, but that's part of my charm. I don't know. I'm just going to make that an excuse. All right. So unfortunately, both my co-hosts weren't here tonight, but I'm here. So I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to get a refill on this because I have an early doctor's appointment tomorrow. I have to do a blood work. Everything's fine. It's just anal checkup, but I can't drink after midnight. So I'm going to get a lot of coffee in before that. I may make some tea. All right. So I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to play a quick video, and then we're going to come back with Patrick Kennelly of Film Maudit 2.0. Tonight is Independent Film Festival night. And so back. Sorry if I'm a little bit off tonight. Some things happened here during the day that I wasn't prepared for. But we're doing the show, and I'll be right back. Let me grab something. Suzlanier Bramlett, who I believe is anyway, she's cool. Here's a quick snippet from an interview.
Hi, this is Michael Ironside, and you're listening without your head.
And by the way, I always keep it handy.
Very good. I walk a lot, and I have mine with me. So I don't have it down here. I'm in my basement. Yeah.
Neil had his on today.
I did. Yes,
I was with him.
Yes.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. We got to do something.
It's such a simple thing to ask people to do. I don't know why it has to be such a big deal.
Look, this is it, right? And so I go out and I walk the dog or whatever, right? And it's right here, ready to go.
That's exactly how I have mine. And then there's a lot of places I go, there's no one. And if I see someone off in the distance, I just pull it up.
Right. And if, you know what, and if somebody's at the door, I can just do this. You know, if they surprise me, drop off or whatever, I just do this. It's not bad. I'm still cute. Look.
Yes, you are. Yeah. But that adds some mystery. I like it. Yeah.
So, you know, in my neighborhood in Calabasas, there are people fighting on the Facebook City of Calabasas page about a damn mask. You know, it's like, it's such an easy little thing to do and to save hundreds of thousands of lives, not 1,000 lives, hundreds of thousands of lives for people my age, you know, and much younger and much older. And it's such a courteous, easy thing to do. What is wrong with people? I don't care if they're Republicans or Democrats.
Yeah, I don't know why it even had to be politicized at all. I mean,
if it saves lives, put it on, for God's sake. And there's a woman that lives in my community. Make me. I went, well, I can't make you put on a mask, but we can just go forever and not have the kids return to school. And we can go forever and not ever get to go to a restaurant again. Bitch, you know, if that's what you want.
Frankly, I like them. I can't believe I was letting people breathe on me before.
I know. Exactly, Tristan. I am never going without a mask again.
No.
If you think I would ever go to a grocery store again without doing this,
no, I much prefer it, frankly.
Hi, this is Jill Six, and you're listening to Without Your Head.
Hey, sorry about that. Hi, but I'm back. And now we've got a cup of Earl Grey tea here. Earl Grey, it's just like Picard. So that was very good. I'm on the record now. I'm going to be going to VIF unless something, only if something comes up. Like, you never know. Like, maybe someone will want me in a movie. I mean, highly doubtful. Look at me. But you never know. If something like that would come up, otherwise, we will make that happen. That'll be a good time. All right. So let's see here. We got some news in the world of horror. We'll have the second guest coming up shortly. After the guest tonight, if you would like to video into the show and talk about whatever, you can. I'm going to share the link out. I don't normally do that, but in the coming weeks, if it's just me hosting the show for a while, I'll probably do that more often. Let's see. Oh, this was a big thing. Was Mike Flanagan is going to write, direct, and produce the next Exorcist film. So I think this is the problem, though, when they go into these movies and they're automatically like, it's going to be a new trilogy. And it's like, well, what if no one likes the first one? And, you know, I actually didn't mind I didn't love it, but I did not hate it like a lot of folks did, the first, this new Exorcist movie. But it was, you know, pretty pant. So you have like already established that there'll be 3 of them and the audience is turned on it. So it's like, are you just forced to keep putting out more of these? So the original guy quit. And so they got Mike Flanagan to do another one, but they've already said it won't be a sequel to the last one. So like you're going to reboot the franchise with the second in the reboot. See, I don't know. Who knows? That's why I think like when you're doing this stuff, you probably should just go in like, let's see how this does, and if it does well, we'll do a sequel. It's kind of like The Strangers. Like, you know, it's already been established that there'll be 3 of them. And I haven't seen too many people into that first, The Strangers Part 1. I definitely was not. So I don't know why we would need 3 of them. But I don't make them, so what the hell do I know? I'm going to have, speaking of festivals, the next Severed Limbs will be coming up in July, so I probably should put up the Film Freeway thing here soon. Yeah, we'll have you can submit films soon to Severed Limbs. I don't have too many rules. It's going to be horror-esque. It does not have to be a straight horror movie, but horror adjacent, horror, underground, thriller, weird. I'm pretty lenient on the genre, as long as it's like obviously like not completely void of any weirdness, or, you know, I'm pretty lenient on that. And it can be from any era. It could be a 50-year-old short film you made. That's fine, as long as we've never played it before. And keep it under 20 minutes. I sometimes will make an exception, but I'm trying to stick to that rule, under 20 minutes. Only just because it's a one-night show, and if we get, a bunch of shorts, if they're all under 10 minutes, we could include, a lot of people. But when they're 25, 28, 37 minutes or something, it just takes up a lot of time. So under 20 minutes. I'll say this: if you're under 5 minutes, you'll probably get in. If you're under 10 minutes, you have a pretty good shot. But I'm not just saying we take anything. But the idea is I want to show as many different things from as many different people. So don't keep them super long. So that's it. It's horror adjacent, under 20 minutes. And something we've never played before. That's all. That you think would be obvious that we had not played it before, but I have had people try to send stuff in again that already played, and at first you think, well, maybe they forgot, but I had one person specifically say, like, oh, I want to try this again to see if we do better on the awards, and it's like, no. For one thing, the awards is it's a fun thing in a way. Like I don't want to do them because I don't like picking like who this is the best or whatever. But it is a fun thing and people like it. And I do like it too. But it's not like you can just keep entering it every year, the same movie. Hopefully it wins. I mean, you can't be like, I'm going to, every year I'm going to put out my same movie. And hopefully this year it wins the Oscar. It's like, it didn't win last year, but it's not as much competition this year. So maybe we'll win. It's like, I don't know, man. Let's put out, Goodfellas again. It didn't win the when it came out. Maybe it'll win this year. No, that's not how it works. And you're kind of missing the point anyway, if that's all you're worried about. So another reboot of the Munsters. It's like that last one. I hate to say this because I had a guest on from the Munsters, a very nice guy. But that movie was god awful. It was just horrendous. It was not funny in the least. Just an abysmal experience. And so I am in the mindset you can't redo the Munsters. It's really of its time. I hate to say a one joke thing, but it's like it's a parody of the original Universal Monsters. And then it was like the first time that happened. And since then, it's happened a lot. But you can't just like, I'm just going to keep doing the same thing. We're going to have another parody of Frankenstein. I mean, it's just lame. And so you're just like, we're copying the original movie or the original show with people who aren't the original cast. Or like this and now is saying it's going to be a dark version. It's like, well, why? Why is it a dark version? If it's a dark version of comedic parodies of the characters, then aren't they just the characters at that point? I mean, if it's a dark version of Herman, isn't he just Frankenstein's monster at that point? So then you just have Frankenstein's monster, in a sitcom. I don't know. It sounds stupid. So you can't redo that. You can't redo the Three Stooges. They try the Three Stooges all the time. And it's like that comedy is of that era. Pie fights aren't going to become like really hilarious again. You're not just going to recreate Moe, Larry, and Curly. Let's throw Shemp in there too. I think the underrated stooge. You can't just recreate these people. So it's not going to work. So I'm not against reboots, remakes, but this is one, just forget it. You're not going to do a new Munsters and it's going to be good. Now, maybe James Wan will, he's like, well, hell yeah. What do you think about this, Nasty Neil? I'm like, hell my God, this is the greatest Munsters reboot since Rob Zombie. But I don't think that's going to happen. I would say just leave that alone and go about your day. So, Furiosa had a, we'll talk about that in a minute. All right. Oh, look at that shirt. I'm a huge fan already. We have Pat Kennelly of Film Maudit. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but Ninja Badass shirt. I'm a huge fan of Ninja Badass. And I have that same shirt. Not on me.
Yeah, Ryan and I are buddies. He's actually working on the bumper for our festival this year, which we'll have.
I'm very excited. Yeah, Ryan's a good friend of mine. I love Ryan, so that's great. He came out to the premiere of my my movie when it played Screamfest last year. But he's great, and I met him in Texas for Ninja Badass played there at South Texas Underground Film Festival. Him and his mom were there. But it's one of my favorite. It was like my favorite movie of that festival that year. It's so fun. It's just a great time. I highly recommend it to anybody.
Yeah, we played it our second year, the COVID year. So unfortunately, it was all online, so we didn't get to show that on the big screen. But
yeah, when we saw it at Texas, it was like literally right before stuff closed. It was we were in Texas. It was, I forget what time, but it was like a couple months before, or maybe a month before everything shut down. And I remember watching on TV at that festival about what was, and we were like, oh, it probably won't get here because it was in China at the time. And a month later, everything shut down.
Yeah, we know what happened.
Yeah. So we're not just here to talk about Ninja Badass, but I'm glad to give Ryan some love here. I was very happy to see that. Can you give people an idea of what Film Maudit 2.0 is?
Yes, it's a festival. We're in our 5th year, and we're dedicated to presenting, outre films that are way out there, off the mainstream festival kind of platform. And we do experimental films, we do animated films, live action, narrative, documentary. So we cover it all. But this is, work that's kind of on the cutting edge, just in terms of the style of it, working with genre, and dealing with sort of where normally taboo subjects.
So, when you first started it, like, who first started anyway? Like, who were the group of people?
Well, I founded it in 2019, and this was through the Space, the performance venue that I have been artistic director of for many years. I've been involved with them for about 20 years. It's called Highways. And we were upgrading our systems in our space to be more of a full-scale screening venue, not just a performance venue. And out of that, we kind of, decided, well, we want to do a festival. And I came up with this particular concept. And and our first one was in fall 2019, so it was right before the pandemic too. And then the second year we did it all online, as most people were. And then the last 2 years have been a hybrid thing where we still have a good chunk of it online and people around the world could watch it, but also live in our venue. And this year is just going to be live again, going back to how it was the first year. That was really the purpose of creating it. It was, a festival really is about bringing people together. I feel like physically in a space. The virtual thing was, I think good temporarily, but
it's better than nothing. It's better than not watching stuff. You can still watch it together in your own way. But I agree. Like, there's nothing like watching it with a group, watching movies, especially weird genre movies, with a group of people on the same screen, and then you can go, hang out afterwards and talk about them.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a specific movie, or were there like movies like, there's like, these don't have like a real home on the festivals, and like, this is why I want to do this?
Yeah, I think so. At least in Los Angeles. Los Angeles is like kind of notoriously difficult for film festivals. There's been many, especially large ones like the LA Film Festival that came and went. Like right now, I think Los Angeles is in a really good space for repertory cinema. but new films and, you know, films that are, you know, indie, foreign films, you know, independent genre films, there's not a huge space for them to be exhibited. If anything, you know, it will be like a week and barely any advertising. Maybe you can find one screen at the AMC somewhere. So it's really just, you know, giving a platform here for that, and also kind of mixing up, you know, not just doing genre stuff, but also, you know, experimental films, and, you know, films with a, you know, kind of a really cutting edge political, you know, ideologies. So it's kind of mashing up all those together, and that's what the original festival that was a one-time only thing in 1949 by Jean Cocteau. He created this festival, and it was for the kinds of films that were not being shown by the, you know, more official festivals, or had been banned or whatever in their home countries, like works by Kenneth Anger and whatnot. So that's been sort of our agenda here, and we've worked with filmmakers over many years too. For instance, our first year we played Lake Michigan Monster.
Oh yeah, it's a great, yeah. And then the follow-up with this, I know what you're gonna say, the Beavers movie, which is amazing.
Yeah. So we actually played did a secret screening of the Beavers last year.
People don't know though. It's 100 Beavers. That's the name of it, right?
Yeah, hundreds of Beavers. Yeah. And we love people like that, them and Ryan, you know, kind of like one-man bands, you know, people who just, with the resources they have, go out and, you know, make these movies over many years sometimes. And of course we do have had some films that have a slightly, you know, higher profile. But we like to sort of cover as much of, you know, world cinema as possible, you know, pulling not just from American genre or European genre, but also Asian cinema and, you know, African cinema.
I liked what you said it too. It's like, it's not necessarily like horror, sci-fi. I always find annoying when people are arguing over like what genre a movie is. It's like, does it even matter if you like it? Who really cares? But like something that's like just weird or underground or something, kind of, to me, kind of fits all in the same kind of world.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I like about the festivals in general, though, is especially like on Boston Underground, things that have the underground, it's usually stuff that doesn't necessarily fit into one genre, or doesn't really fit in any genre. So.
And Boston Underground's great. I've been there before, and great people run that, and it's an anomaly, I think, in that region, so that's cool. So yeah, like that kind of vibe, you know, it brought to Los Angeles.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite festivals. I like that's Boston Underground Film. It's on one screen. I don't want to promote some other festival here, but it's just a great festival. I know it's on the other side of the country, so. But I like that's all one screen. Yeah, it just happened in March. Yeah. I'm on the East Coast. So. Let's see here. Christopher Outridge, who's a filmmaker, he says Nightmare, that's his film, is perfect for this, and he liked and followed. So, well, I want to know the next one is coming up in June 12th through 16th. So we're not very far away. But so he couldn't submit to that, but he could submit, you know, into a future one.
Yes, definitely. We have an open submission process through the different platforms there, like Film Freeway and Fest Home and whatnot. June 12th through the 16th in Santa Monica, which is the beachside, you know, town of Los Angeles. Our full lineup, you know, the website will be up, I think, tomorrow. Well, it'll be fully online tomorrow. We've been kind of, revealing it gradually on our social media the last couple of weeks. But the full thing will be together. We're a very, DIY operation. So some years we've had more resources than others, but you know, we cater to the filmmakers, and we just want to give a space and create a community around, you know, these kind of films, like-minded people who would make these and like watching them.
Yeah. And speaking of community, I always like a community aspect of a festival. So have you had a lot of people that have come, like, you know, multiple years and maybe even made something like specifically to try to get in and like, oh, I'm going to make something weird to get into this festival?
I don't know if people have created anything directly for the festival, but there have been, yes, people who have come back many years. We've played some filmmakers multiple times. And even, for instance, like we had filmmakers the very first year who then became last year part of our jury. So, you know, we always like to keep things together, and at any possibility we have of, you know, doing more films by filmmakers who have already played in the festival, we love doing that. It's not 100% guaranteed, but
yeah,
you know, we like those relationships. I
have seen the actually all the I haven't watched them all, but I've seen what shorts are going to be included. And what I thought was wild is that there was enough shorts to have a whole block of stop motion shorts. And I'm a big fan of stop motion, and I'm happy that, like, I've starting to see, well, there was the movie stop motion, but I'm always happy, like, if I'm at a festival and there's a stop motion short. And so it seems like it's a medium, like an art form that's kind of making a comeback, at least like in the festival world.
I think so. I've been actually seeing more and more every year, and that this year was the most, definitely. That's why that was all created. And what's cool is they're all different kinds of stop motion animation. You know, you have claymation in there, and you even have live action, but done with stills. So yeah, we definitely created something around that. And I think there's like 2 filmmakers in that group who had films in previous festivals and our previous festivals.
So not even just this specific festival, but why are festivals to you so important?
Well, I think, I don't know what other sort of platform there is for getting these kinds of films, independent films from other parts of the world, seen by, you know, other people in other places in the world. It's distribution. Film distribution is a very complicated affair, for both good or bad. And the great thing about the festivals is it's not about that sort of financial part of it. It's more about the art and the community around it, and getting those movies seen, and then hopefully they'll get sold or whatever and be distributed by people, streamers or whatever, that can reach a much broader audience that Warner Brothers or whatever could do right out of the gate, And I think a lot of the festivals that started as like independent festivals have become more like industry festivals. So there are places, I feel, like Boston Underground and us and many others that are, doing that kind of stuff that like Sundance and whatever we're doing in the 90s. And that's not to like hate on Sundance or anything, but it's the kind of films we play rarely will play in a Sundance context.
Yeah. Well, even the term like independent film is such a broad term, because it's like, technically some movies that were like cost a few $1 million are independent films, and then a movie that cost a couple $100 or a few $1,000 is also independent film. There's a big difference between movies of that scale. I
agree. And what's weird is we live in a place right now, I think, and it's where somehow like a Furiosa should be judged or kind of compared against an independent like horror movie. Like, at least that's what Letterboxd thinks, which I just don't think is right. I think it's, and that's what we try to contextualize with our festival is, where this film is coming from and what the intentions were, and I think every film needs to be approached in a different way. I think that's important. So
yeah, obviously, someone who, like you said, like you mentioned, the Beavers movies or Ninja Badass, it's made by like a small group of people, and they don't have $200 million and a giant effects team. So it's obviously going to be a different movie. You can't really you could like both. Like I always say on the show, like I love Taxi Driver and I love Basket Case, but I know one's probably a better movie than the other, but I enjoy both of them equally. So
yeah,
it doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah.
And also short films, it's probably your only chance to see them with people or on the big screen is at a festival.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, there's a lot of great YouTube channels and whatnot now that are
there's definitely more platforms for them to go afterwards. Used to be they'd be gone basically, but it's the only time to watch them, with other people, like with an audience.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, short films, I think we're leaning more into that this particular year. So our festival's heavy with the shorts, and in the past we've had features lineups that have reached like 18 films, but this year we decided to kind of scale that back a little bit to just 6, and 6 really great films, and kind of more focus on the shorts for this edition.
I'm a big fan of the shorts blocks for lots of reasons. Like, you get to see a lot of different people's, work. And then if you like them, you can go follow them. And I don't know, there's something about that. And also, if it's one you don't like, it's not going to, you don't have to an hour and a half of it. Like you have another one coming up. And I don't know, just something cool to watch a bunch of different things from different people.
Yeah. And what we like to do just from, like a curatorial perspective is obviously we see all the films that are being submitted and make notes around them, and we also go out and we'll look at our festivals and what's going on sort of the circuit, so to speak. But then you start drawing connections between things, mostly from a thematic standpoint, sometimes a stylistic one, like in the stop motion case. So they're very, very tightly curated. Like this year, all the programs are no more than 80 minutes, but they're films that together almost create an overarching narrative that takes you through a lot of different, unexpected places, but in the end has, you can walk away from it and get, oh yeah, I understood what that was all about, or what that sort of, what that vibe was.
And along those lines, how long does it really take to put together like the lineup? Because it's not only just like, oh, this is cool, I'm accepting this, but to actually put things together in the right order?
Months, a long time. I don't know. For me personally, I kind of have the hang of it by now, so I can draw parallels pretty quickly. And because we've seen, I mean, in the time of doing this festival, I already watch a lot of movies, but hundreds and hundreds. Yeah. So it is a big time just to view everything that's out there, and I always, when I'm watching screeners, try to watch the entire thing, no matter what my feelings about it are in the first, 15 minutes or whatever. Sometimes you can, the first 15 minutes of a movie are like, well, I'm not sure. But then, by minute, 70, oh, it all kind of makes sense. So you kind of, so all of that just takes time. We don't just, jump through things quickly.
Yeah. Do you have not that this is that important, but do you have awards at Film Maudit 2.0?
We do, yes. And we have a jury this year. We had a jury last year. This year, I think there will be 6 members, 3 for our short film categories and 3 for our feature film. And these are people who are from all different parts of the world, either alums or of our festival or other or run other festivals or are programmers or other filmmakers. Yeah, I think this is only the third year we would have we have a jury every year, but the last 2 years has been expanded quite a bit.
Yeah. And what kind of movies are you interested in, just as like a viewer? Are you like a horror movie fan, or is it like what we're seeing here, just something that's different and strange and weird and out of the norm?
I mean, I like everything. I would say I'm. It's hard to. It is a little hard to say because like my three favorite general release films this year have been Love Lies Bleeding, If, and
that's one I haven't seen actually. Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I actually go see about everything that comes out, but I actually have not seen If. Yeah,
If is beautiful. It really took me by surprise. It's not necessarily what you think, and you know, I'm a parent of two small kids, so obviously you bring different things.
Yeah.
Everybody brings a different thing to it, so I wouldn't say that, you know, that movie's for everybody, but I don't think it's just for kids or families. I think there's a lot more going on there, and particularly if you are a parent, it's incredible. It's great.
Yeah. And what was the third movie? Yeah, Love Lies Bleeding, If, and
Love Lies Bleeding to me is in a whole other category of things. I think it's one of the best. I don't think there will be a better movie that I will see in general release this year. I loved her that filmmaker's previous film, Saint Maud.
Yeah.
But this is stepping it up into a whole other category. I mean, it's just so unexpected, you know, and that's really hard to come by, I think, now. And, you know, films just in general, no matter what scale they're at, is just like just really, I'd never seen that before, or that's an idea that, and that's really what I'm like, you know, seeking out, even if like the whole of it is not perfect. If it has just like the 1, 2, or 3 like just super original ideas, that can go a long way. And what Ed Harris does in that movie,
they're pretty rocking hair doing it.
Yeah, right. I'll try to remember what the third one was. It's another one that makes no sense in regards to those other two. But anyways,
yeah, no, that's fine. But yeah, that's cool, because I do try to go see just about everything that comes out, and I mean, sometimes it'll be something I don't think I'm gonna like, and I like it, and it's cool. And what you were saying though, I think because I get a lot of screeners for the show, and I can overlook the movie not technically being great or whatever if it's original, or you could tell the people are having fun who made it or having something to say. To me, the most boring movies are one, they might technically be really well made, but it's just like something I've seen 1,000 times, like, you know, like a very typical haunted house movie or something, where it's almost like they just made a movie just for the sake of making a movie.
Yes. Definitely. And you know, again, yeah, if it doesn't work all the way, I just recently saw Harmony Korine's new film, which is called Aggro Drift, and it's shot entirely with thermal cameras.
Yeah.
You know, 80 minutes of that. And he'd been touring it around in strip clubs, doing kind of alternate mixes, I guess, with multiple screens. And I just think that's really cool. Now, I saw it in a normal theatrical context, and in that, it doesn't necessarily work, you know, as a good narrative would, but it's just, you've not seen it before.
Yeah.
It's commitment to a very specific idea, you know, that could, for many audiences, get old, like, in a couple of minutes.
I sure really wanted to see it, but it was It was only playing one theater in Boston, and for a weird time. It was like 11:40 at night, and it was hard for me to get back home from there. But it was just weird. But I would have liked to seen it. I really tried to. I'm looking forward to seeing In a Violent Nature this weekend. I haven't seen it yet. I missed it at Buff. I was at Buff and it played, but I haven't seen it yet. I've heard mixed things. Some people really love it, some people really dislike it. So I'll see. That's usually the best kind of movie, though.
Yes, definitely.
Usually people are like, then it's like, well, that's probably not that great. So
I definitely agree. Another one then, actually, I just remembered that I don't think has been doing very well just in terms of the audience is I saw the TV Glow.
Oh, I love that movie. Yeah, I saw it a couple weeks ago in Boston. I thought it was great.
Yeah. That filmmaker's previous super indie film, We're All Going to the World's Fair, I think it was called, micro budget.
Yeah.
And, potentially people can lose their way when they get an A24 budget or whatever. But no, I just felt it was even a bigger expansion of that world and the stuff that worked really well with that movie. And I just love that, maybe this is cliche to say, but the A24 is around and is giving a big push and putting a lot of money behind these kinds of projects. I mean, they did both Love Lies Bleeding and
I see a lot of horror fans on social media really anti A24, but I mean, I don't know. They put out a lot of stuff I really like, and like even stuff I don't necessarily like. I like the idea, like you're saying, that they're putting out stuff that's no one else is really putting out, and like filmmakers, like I said, someone made the super indie movie, and now they're making fairly big budget movies.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cool thing, and it was great. Yeah, I loved it. I unfortunately think I was the only one in the theater that liked it by the reaction of the crowd I was with, but it was like a mainstream theater, so it was a big AMC theater. So I was like, these people probably didn't know what they were actually getting in for. So.
I mean, I was a teenager in the '90s, so I was the target audience for that movie.
Yeah. I graduated in '94, so yeah, I get it. No, yeah, it was definitely for me. I've been telling everyone about it. So I was glad you brought that up. So you have the world premiere of My Imaginary Life for Someone.
That's correct, and that's the first feature by a filmmaker who had a short film in our festival last year called Buddy Movie. He played it around quite a bit on the festival circuit. It was great, and this film is a whole other thing. I mean, it's the same sort of weird, awkward, compelling vibe that he has. His name's Ryan McGlade, and I know he co-directed this movie with Molly Werwind, and it's kind of a mockumentary of sorts of, the Real Housewives of wherever, but it's particular to Los Angeles, kind of in a way turning that into a horror film of sorts. And I mean, obviously, My Imaginary Life for Someone, it's MILF, MILF. Right, so it actually took me a minute because
I didn't get it. So until you said it,
it took me a minute to figure that out. I was like, oh, I get it. Oh, that's super clever. I mean, titles are important, and they nailed that one. So yeah, it's gonna be great. Super excited. We're gonna be able to premiere it here, but it's set in Los Angeles and it's very LA. So yeah, that's our big world premiere this year, and then we have a couple of other LA premieres of films.
Yeah, I'll name just a couple here. I know you haven't put them out yet, so maybe you don't want me to. But Hippo, which that one looks really awesome to me. I'm looking forward to watching that. And Home Invasion, which that one looks very, very strange, very experimental. It's like, is the whole movie like shot with like the circle, like they're looking through the peephole or something?
Yep, the whole movie's like that, and it's a found footage thing made by one guy. It's sort of like an essay film on the history of the doorbell, but kind of looking using that as a jumping off point to look at surveillance culture and, you know, our increasing paranoia, particularly accelerated by the internet, and our abilities now to, you know, surveil our own houses and the outside of that. So it's really cool. Again, it's like I love the found footage pieces, you know, these kind of things that are made by one person, you know, just going through a lot of material and connecting dots that you know wouldn't normally be connected. We did one a couple of years ago that was used the mini series The Langoliers, but all of the frames were photocopied, and so it was called.
I didn't see that, but I remember when that was out. A lot of my friends were talking about it.
Yeah, Timekeepers of Eternity, by a Greek filmmaker, and that was incredible. You know, I mean, especially for film nerds like us, you know, those kind of found footage things are cool because, you know, it's nostalgia. We know that, and it being reframed. Because I remember watching The Langoliers when it was on TV. That being kind of recontextualized in a very creative and obsessive way almost is super cool.
Yeah, I've not seen it. That's a wild. Is it out anywhere? Do you know? It's probably hard to release, I guess.
I don't know. It was distributed by I think it's an Austrian-based company that does. They're actually the ones who are, interestingly enough, representing Home Invasion, you know, as well. Okay. So I don't know if they give the films a big like theatrical release or even streaming at least in the US. So I'm not sure if that exists. I mean, a lot of the films that we've played over the years have still not been released in the US. I mean, some have obviously.
That's another reason to go to go. Obviously, it's great if you see a movie at the festival and then it pops up, you know, wherever on Shudder or whatever platform, Tubi or something, or gets theatrical release. And it's kind of bittersweet, obviously, because it's like, well, I wish this movie would have went on somewhere. But I've seen stuff at festivals that never got released anywhere, and it was like, it's really cool that I get to see it, and I'll always remember it. But it's like, I wish, you know, other people got to see it, but still a good reason, you know, to go to the film festival. And you're also going to see it, you know, with other people who like weird stuff like yourself.
Yeah.
So go out, check it out. And so you also yourself as a filmmaker, do you obviously, I guess, it would be a conflict of interest to make something and have it in your film festival, but are you working on anything currently?
I am actually my second or my follow-up feature film. It's been a while since the first one, which was called Excess Flesh. It premiered at South by Southwest in the midnight category, and we had a really good fest run with it. And it was on Shudder in the days before Shudder was buying original content or doing their own in-house productions. So it's not there anymore, but it's somewhere for free. I know that. But we're in post right now on another feature film. It's called Earth, or the Monster of Tierra Amarilla. It's a period magical realist body horror film shot in a very unusual way. It was all done on sound stages with green screens. So all the backgrounds and worlds are being created, you know, with CGI, meant to mimic more like traditional matte paintings, and you know that deliberately kind of artificial style. So it's a big departure from from the Excess Flesh film, but we're getting closer. But you know, it's an extensive post-production just because of what I explained for very little, with our very little resources. So, obviously it's, they always say, well, you pick one time, you either, take a lot of time and then it can turn out good, or you rush it and, it's bad. So we're just, spending time with it, but it'll eventually get done, hopefully in the next year.
All right, cool. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I knew you were editor on Waking Nightmare, and Diane Franklin was great in that movie. We had her on the show when that came out. So good work on the editing, I guess. But that was a really cool movie.
Oh yeah, Waking Nightmare. Yeah. I just, you know what? That's true. I did recently randomly see that was on Tubi, or it popped up. Yeah, I was involved in the editorial process on that. I don't know if the final cut that they released was mine, though. I watched it, but I think so. It seems. But those guys were cool. I liked working on that project, and it's so many times you work on these things and they never do end up getting finished. So that was really cool to see that they were able to, bring that, through the, the winning gate. Yeah.
Not that I've been in much, but I've been in a few things that never get released, and it's very disappointing. But
yes,
I give up bugging people after a while. It's like, I guess it's been 6 or 7 years. I guess it's not coming out, but it was cool. I guess I have stills from it, but
it's anyway, all it takes is time, really, because actually, interestingly, hopefully within the next year, a really cool new boutique label is putting out a Blu-ray, a special edition Blu-ray of Excess Flesh.
Oh, cool.
I can't really talk about who that is, but it's 10 years later, and I sometimes things need time, and obviously there was still some kind of interest in that. So hopefully that will be done soon, because we never got a Blu-ray release of our film in the US. In fact, I had to buy the Blu-ray of it from Australia on Amazon. That just tells you about film distribution in this day and age. Be careful, people.
Yeah. So I don't hear too many good stories from friends of mine or guests on the show. There's very, very rarely does someone come to the show like, man, I love this distributor or things. I don't know if anyone ever has, to be honest. Now I think about it. So if they did, I think I might be worried about it. I'd be like, I don't know about this person. Like 80 or something.
I mean, I love what like Vinegar Syndrome.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
That's just amazing. And in fact, it's almost like too much. Like,
yeah. I can't watch all of it. Yeah.
I bought some of those Blu-rays. I'm like this 6-String Samurai was a really cool film, indie film that was played at Sundance in the late 90s, but it never really was released after that. And they put out this 3 Blu-ray, really tricked out edition of it. And I love that. It's so cool.
Yeah, I should. You meant Vinegar Syndrome, Arrow, stuff like that. Like they're going to put out. They really put a lot of effort into. I won't name names of ones that are not necessary ones that a lot of people respect or but everyone knows probably who has anything to do with movies. But there's a couple of them I know. If it's unfortunate. Like if I get a screener and I see that it's them, there's a couple of them like this movie is probably going to be terrible, which is unfortunate because like just the people that are putting out the movie like kind of puts me off of it, which is weird, but that's a weird thing to say without naming names, I guess. But
well, I think it's really important for filmmakers to once they finish the film, and play the festival, and then people do come to you and are interested in buying it, distributing it, just just be very careful and, you know, take time. I think it's dangerous to be selling something right out the gate. So just from my own, you know, personal experience, you can have a great experience with distribution, but you can also have a terrible one. So you just gotta be careful. And like you say, yeah, do the research, see what else they distribute, and, you know, that
if they have like 8,000 movies, is probably like not necessary. I'm not saying that can be always a bad thing, but I don't know. It's if they don't take the time to like pick out like quality stuff, maybe it's not like a great home for you.
Yes, I think so. I mean, I think there is kind of, I'm just talking real talk now. Yeah. I think there is kind of an attitude of buying cheap and throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. Mm-hmm. That's everybody's, looking for that next viral film, like Skinamarink or something. Right. Yeah. It's just, made for no money or whatever, or they can, buy really cheap. And a lot of times they'll get, it's first time filmmakers, are just excited and eager that, somebody's interested in wanting to distribute their films or whatever. It's just, it needs time, it needs research. And I just think that the self-distribution model these days also for independent films is really doable and potentially more profitable for a lot of people than selling your movie to a distributor. But
my first feature films that I do with, I think you might know Michael Epstein, Sophia Cacciola. So I helped write Once a Future Smash and produced it in End Zone 2, and I'm in both of them. And so they have way more experience than I do. And I know we had a lot of offers from things, and I don't know anything about that, but apparently they weren't great. But so Michael said, like, we're self-distributing it. And he said that was, he had the most success on the movie that he self-distributed before. So.
Yeah, Michael and Sophia know what they're doing. Yeah, they've been, we love them. Maybe we've played their films, but twice, 2 or maybe 3 times at our festival. They're just cool. They're just really big supporters of the community and, other filmmakers, other films,
And if you want advice, if you're friends with them, and they'll help, give you advice and help out. And if you know them on Facebook, wherever you see, they're always working on other people's stuff. They're good people. So yeah, there was what were the movies? Fat Fleshy Fingers, and
the first year was Pride, which was that.
Okay, Pride. Yeah, we see a lot of Michael in Pride. Yeah.
Yes. I love Pride. Fat Fleshy Fingers. I think maybe those, but there's been other films that we've played that they've either produced or affiliated with in some way. Like there was this really funny short a couple of years ago called Tea Party. I don't know if you ever saw that one. And they helped produce that, and it's it's a little girl having a tea party with like her, a Barbie doll, but also like a wrestling doll.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? You've probably seen them.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah, they like they said though they help on a lot of things. So there's a bunch of different things that they put out.
Yeah.
But yeah, did that premiere at Film Maudit? Fat Fleshy Fingers. It's hard for me to say.
I think it might have been. I'll have to remember. Stephen would. Stephen, right? He would know.
Oh yeah. It does. Used to be. It's Bizarro Land now.
Yeah, it's Bizarro. He runs Bizarro Land. Yeah, I love Bizarro. I have to shout out, but I like shouting out other festivals.
Okay. Cool.
Bizarro Land is kind of a partner of ours in a way in Orlando. It's difficult enough playing this kind of stuff in LA, but I can't even imagine in Orlando. So I really commend him for putting together.
I've never been to it, but I've known him for years, and he's been on the show a bunch of times. But I always wanted to go to his festival because they play a lot of weird stuff, and he's a really good guy.
Yeah, it's a great one. It's very similar. They're doing very similar, and a lot of the times the same films that we do. So it's cool.
And the website's filmmaudit.org. So it's coming up June 12th through the 16th. And it says Los Angeles, but you said it was Santa Monica or?
Yes. LA is like a bunch of small cities, and Santa Monica is on the beach. It's like in between Malibu and Venice. It's a really cool venue. It's been around for 35 years. I've been involved with it for 20. We've done some of the, most, cutting edge performance art of the last, 35, 40 years. And, we've been making the shift into making the venue also for film. We've done films over time, but just in terms of our systems, now we're, can accommodate on a amazing scale projection and sound that matches a theater built as a movie theater.
Yeah, that's it. You always say like, oh, you see it on the big screen, but I think the sound is a big aspect of seeing a movie, in a theater, is because you're surrounded by it. And sometimes I think people overlook how important that is to the theater experience.
Yes, definitely. We don't have Atmos, but we do have 5 point.
Yeah, I'm just, just being in there is like a big.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I mean, I have to say, when you go to those, Dolby Atmos theaters,
that's my favorite theater. Like, I know there's IMAX is cool and stuff, but if I have the option, I always do the Dolby one because I think for me it's my favorite theater to watch a movie in.
Yeah, I saw Civil War and that, and
I did too, and Furiosa last weekend. But because those movies, you can like feel the bass and stuff in the seats, so it really adds to the experience.
Yeah, and it's not like those ones, the 4D or whatever. I remember.
Right, it's not shooting water at you. It's not like all gimmicky or anything like that. Yeah.
I saw Nightmare on Elm Street remake in 4D.
Oh, really? Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually been to one. They had one in Boston, but they closed it and built an Alamo Draft House. But I've never been to one. I do like the Alamo Draft House, so I know it's a chain, but it's a good theater.
Oh no, yeah, they're the best. They're the best of the theater chains for sure.
Yeah, 100%. And not to plug them, but they have you can join it for $20 a month or what around there, and you can go see a movie or whatever every week or something. So it's a good deal. They should pay us, but they're not paying. But Film Maudit 2.0, filmaudit.org. We may have some more guests before the event, some filmmakers. So check out here the website. And it was cool to talk with you, and I hope to make it out to a Film Maudit 2.0.
Yes, please. Yes, please do.
Yeah, sounds good. And I'd love to have you back on when anytime you want to come on. When your movie's getting the Blu-ray release or anything like that, be cool.
I'd love to. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that will be out for the 10th anniversary of that movie. It's just very for an independent filmmaker or whatever. It's just I don't know. It feels nice.
Yeah.
10 years later, seem to care about your film, and that's in a way that is the great success of it for me. It's not about the money, but it's because there never is there, but it's that is 10 years later people are still interested in it. It's still affecting in some way, or they remember it from that time. It's great.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. I hope I would love to see it when it comes out. The Blu-ray package.
Definitely. Yeah.
All right, I'll have the link everywhere if people check out Film Maudit 2.0. It was nice to meet you, and we'll talk again soon.
Talk soon. Thank you, Neil.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.
I'll kick you out just because otherwise it's awkward to people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But whoops, I think I had you back in. All right. So yeah, he left. Anyway, so I'm gonna post a link here if anyone wants to come on quick. Otherwise, I'll probably be wrapping up. So here you go. By the way, if you notice, this is the I Ain't Afraid of No Trees Arbor Day patch. It just arrived this week. Look at that, folks. Look at that. Now, who wouldn't want... Look at that. It's amazing. Artwork by Troy Jones. It's a fully embroidered patch. They are self-adhesive. This one I also sewed in so it doesn't fall off my hat, but self-adhesive. Stick on a shirt or whatever. They will be part of the upcoming crowdfunder to help create Arbor Day. So if you would like one, soon will be your chance. Here's the link, folks. Come and talk to me about horror movies or whatever. I'm not picky. I'm not going to be here real late because I got to get up early for blood work. And then it doesn't matter. No one cares. But I have some doctor's appointments coming up. Everything's fine, though. I don't want anybody to think I'm sick or anything. It's just routine checkups and blood work. If you want, I'm posting this on the group. Actually, I'm just going to play a quick video while I post this everywhere. Here is actually the trailer for Home Invasion, which will have the LA premiere at Film Maudit 2.0.
Your Ring device is in setup mode. Follow the instructions in the Ring app to continue.
All right, we're back here. That is an experimental film that will have its LA premiere at Film Maudit 2.0. I believe it's pronounced Film Maudit 2.0. Parlez-vous français? Oh, oui, oui. Coast, what's happening, my buddy, my pal, my amigo, my compadre?
Hey, what's going on? At the beginning of that clip, it had that color out of space look with the sky. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
Yeah, yeah.
With Nicolas Cage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just like the whole Cthulhu mythos. Yeah, all that good stuff.
Cosmic horror.
Yeah. Then that was pretty interesting. I gotta check that out. Yeah, well, the trailer.
Oh yeah, it seems really weird. So I'm interested, pulling off a whole movie shot that way. Yeah, I like people thinking out of the box and creating things like for not a lot of money and using using creative ways to make something. It obviously be great to have millions of dollars, but if you don't, you can still you can still make stuff.
And that's the beauty of the whole indie scene. In my opinion, I think there's going to be like a resurgence, like a huge indie movement, like because of the whole corporations wanting to like put out all these remakes and redos and stuff like that.
A lot of the movies that make money at the theater lately have been like smaller budget horror movies.
Yeah. See, that's the problem with those like corporations that they play the whole safe money, scared money thing. Where okay, well, we don't want to think outside the box, so we're just going to go with what works. We're going to go with a franchise or an intellectual property that we can purchase and redo and stuff. Or something that's been proven to make money. When actually the big risks come with big rewards. I mean, because like somebody had to discover Spider-Man, right? And Superman and all that.
It wasn't just created. It already known. It had to be.
Yeah.
Or the movies that they keep remaking, Halloween. Like when it first, when it was first made, no one knew it would do anything, and Friday, Jason and Freddy, all these things that they just. Exorcist. Well, Exorcist was a great book, but still,
Yeah.
There's other great books
I
out there too that I'm sure you could like. Hey, this has never been made into a movie. Let's try this one.
Yeah. I don't know who did that, but I think there was one like series that was using like not nursery rhymes, but like those old Jack and Jill story, Jack and the Beanstalk.
They've been making
those.
There's been a few of those the last few years. Obviously there's the Winnie the Pooh one, which is not good. But there was like Three Blind Mice had come out.
Okay.
Horror version of it. The Cinderella's Revenge actually got a theatrical release. But there's been a few of them. I wanted to watch a Three Blind Mice. Three Little Pigs too. Three Little Pigs was one.
Yeah. Three Little Pigs. It makes me think like what else is out there that could be like a total horror? What about the little old lady in the shoe that lived in the shoe? Something.
The old lady in the
had
shoe.
so many children, she didn't know what to do.
Yeah. About a child murderer. Yeah.
Oh, it could be that, or it could be her children murdering people. You can always flip that,
true.
or that reminds me.
Corner.
Yeah. Jack and Jill.
Yeah, Jack and Jill.
I think they made like the Bad Wolf. Like
the
Big Bad Wolf.
Big Bad Wolf versions.
There actually was. It was with Keith Sullivan. It was Keith Sullivan and that one girl. I forget her name.
Oh
she was like
Reese Witherspoon or something.
Reese Witherspoon, yeah, or so it's one of those, yeah. And like basically, Keith Sullivan was like the wolf, and the girl was going to her grandmama's house, and he was a serial killer. So,
oh yeah, I remember that.
Good
yeah. There was I used to have a book of like grim fairy tales, or anyway, I remember one was, and someone illustrated, and it was all creepy. It might have been like the guy did Addams Family, the original Addams Family stuff. But anyway, one was Fatty and Skinny went to bed. Fatty rolled over, and Skinny was dead. But I don't know. That had to be a short film, I guess. But.
Yeah. Sounds like that would be something that's in Saw, one of those Saw movies or something. Or a remake of Seven, the movie Seven. Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah, Seven's great.
Gluttony, the sin of gluttony.
But when you talk about like the reboots, like the Stranger Things reboot, it was just like a complete remake of the first movie, only not done as well. They even gave away the big line from the original Strangers, which is the thing that people found scary about it, and they gave that away right in the trailer. And I was like, either they just gave away the end of the movie, or they've changed this up. But no, they gave away the end of the movie, or like the point of the movie. I don't know. That was one of the most pointless remakes I've ever seen. There's been worse movies, but it was just completely pointless. Like, why did this need to be made? It's just the same idea. Not as
of Stranger Things.
Yeah, no, Strangers. The Strangers.
Oh, I'm about to say they remade something that's out already. that's
that would be. Well, they're rebooting Exorcist again because the next one's not going to be sequel to the reboot. But it's like a new one. So it's like a reboot after rebooting it. Like this last reboot, no one liked. but we've committed to making 3 of them, so now we're rebooted again.
Now there's that one movie from the 80s. It was like a B horror movie where like some kid like he like extracted some blood, some rabies out of a dead animal, and he put it in the pies in town, and everyone went crazy.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
It was from the 80s. I forget what it was called, but yeah, he injected all the pies because they were having a bake off, and everyone lost their mind. Even though it probably wouldn't work these days because rabies isn't really like that.
Yeah, but
where you just eat it and then
other.
Yeah, it could. Yeah,
can put AIDS or I don't know.
AIDS and that was a South Park thing where they put AIDS in.
Really?
He injected AIDS in.
Yeah.
The big kid, he put AIDS in the other guy's mouth. I totally don't know South Park. All I know is Kenny.
I'm a big fan of South Park, but I haven't watched it in like I don't know since like season 10 or something.
Yeah, years.
A long time, probably a decade. Mm-hmm. I always think someday I should go back and catch up, but I don't know where to start. But I do like South Park.
You just jump into that.
That's true. That's true. It's not a continuous. Yeah. It's not like you couldn't be like, oh, I'm going to start watching Breaking Bad in season 4, episode 7 or something. You'd be like, what the hell's happening?
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of shows like that anymore, actually. Almost all shows are one giant storyline. South Park.
Yeah.
I mean, not South Park, but Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. All those shows, they're one giant story arc. There aren't too many shows that are, you could just watch them out of order.
Yeah. Oh, hold on.
He's got the plane coming. The plane. Pepe.
Yeah, I'll be getting away from that soon. I'll be moving away. I just don't know where. I can thinking about going to another state, but I just don't know which state would be right
Idaho,
for me.
So maybe Snake
that's
asked.
Too close to Yellow.
Bruce was really putting over how bad Idaho was, so maybe you should go.
Yeah, Idaho is right in the kill zone of the Yellowstone caldera. So, like, if you're in Idaho, Montana, Colorado, and I forget North Dakota, South Dakota, that's basically the kill zone. When Yellowstone goes kablooey.
Oh man!
So
I didn't know something that I've even thought about. So you've got this all planned out. You can't go there.
Yeah.
You can get a lot of potatoes. You could just you can that's the home of the potato, Idaho.
Oh yeah.
Bake them,
yeah, exactly. It's funny you say that. I didn't know that brand Ore-Ida.
Right.
I didn't know that was like the mixture of Oregon, Idaho.
Oh, I didn't know that.
For the longest time, I didn't know that.
Right.
Yeah, Ore-Ida. So it's kind of like West Idaho, Eastern Oregon.
Yeah, I do like Idaho potato, I have to say, I'll admit. Not that I wouldn't move there just to buy potatoes, but Pepe Poteet, what are your thoughts on the Wolverine Deadpool popcorn bucket? All those popcorn buckets are cool to me. They're fun, but like they take up a lot of space to buy them all because they're all like this big, So I don't.
Oh, really those. Yeah.
I did like for the D&D movie though. It was a big 20-sided die. I thought that was pretty cool.
My brother really?
Get it, but
I'm sorry I missed that.
Yeah, Troy couldn't find it anywhere. Sold out. I think it was going for a lot of money on eBay for a while. I'll look it up.
Oh, wow. It was amazing. Like that movie was like spot on to the canon of
I agree.
Of Dungeons and Dragons favorite.
It really
Forgotten Realms.
It felt like how it even felt like a group of, I don't know how they did it, but it really felt how playing D&D feels. So it's like it felt like a group of people, sitting around, and you've got all the different characters. I was surprised how much I
Mhm.
liked that movie.
Yeah, they had the Red Wizards of Thay in there. They even went to the Underdark. I was like, wow, cool. He went to the Underdark. Like, I think they went from Neverwinter to Waterdeep. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's a pretty decent trip. Like no, actually, I take that back. From Baldur's Gate to Neverwinter, that's a pretty sizable trip. Yeah,
Yeah, I never played the video games, but I know there's a lot of the video games references in it. I was an old school dice video game, D&D player, like actual D&D. Damn.
Yeah,
that's quite a lot of money. Yeah, it's like 150. I see it for 275. The cheapest I see it is 140 bucks.
Oh, okay. Wow. John Reddy. Yeah, that's it. I drink your blood. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the movie. But yeah, the Dungeons and Dragons movie was based on the whole 3.5 Dungeons and Dragons 3.5 Forgotten Realms mythos. Like
well, it had a lot of it had a lot of
one.
monsters I knew from second edition. So.
Oh yeah.
Like the display.
Well, all those monsters cross editions. Yeah. They cross over. They like an orc from edition 1 is now in edition 5. I think there are now. Yeah. So an orc's an orc, a hobgoblin is a hobgoblin, a bugbear is a bugbear. All that. A goblin is a goblin. A gnoll is a gnoll, troll. Yeah.
Pretty sweet.
Kobold. Yeah, I should get that.
It's like
eat the popcorn out of that.
Yeah, you keep.
Sorry, I'm not talking over you on purpose.
Oh no, I was just saying you could have it at home and make some popcorn.
Yeah.
And put it in the bucket.
Yeah, I notice I don't talk over people when I'm on my phone because like the phone I guess is in real time, but when I'm on everything else in here, like the computer right now, I think there's a delay in it. So when I think you're done, I'm actually cutting you off.
Oh, it's fine.
So again, I apologize for that if that's coming. I think that could be a little abrupt when listening to this, but I'm not doing it on purpose, people. I swear.
I'll forgive you. It's totally fun. I'm trying to find a few years ago we did a line of shirts that were here I found them that were based off of t-shirts that were based off of old Dungeons and Dragons monsters. And
nice.
I should put them back up. They're really nice, I think. Here is that was so Troy did the pen and ink, and then I did the color and the design. So it looks like an old module from like second edition D&D.
Yeah, when you fall into it and it just devours everything, flesh.
Yeah, that's a gelatinous cube.
Gelatinous cube. That's right. Yeah. Whoever your friend is that's getting you into the 3D printing thing, you can actually get STL files. I heard this. I haven't confirmed this, so don't quote me on it. But I heard there's an STL file for the entire all 4 monster manuals.
Oh, really?
So all the monsters in every monster manual. Yeah, there's an STL file for it, and if you know what an STL file is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just making sure. But yeah, you can get an STL file for the entire all 4 or 5 monster manuals, and you can have your own little D&D tabletop like mini figurine playing station.
Yeah, I think and my brother he got the 3D printer, and I think he actually was looking into some of that stuff where you can print out like a lot of like the he was going to print out like the like Warhammer kind of stuff.
Yeah. The trickiest is to get the I think they're called the SLA printers. You don't want the filament ones because the filament ones gives you that kind of rough look, the peel, like the orange peel look on there. and also it's not as detailed as like that other one, the SLA printer. A good one is I forget what that one is called. Hold on, I'll grab it. The images
There's
from
a
the
shambling
calendar.
mound.
Oh, the shambling mound. Yeah, that's
Yeah, we also
print
did a
out some of the fairy
calendar.
folk.
Right, the calendar was really cool. So we did. I did calendars and T-shirts.
Oh,
We should
nice.
do another calendar.
Nice.
I did we did a calendar with those, and we also did a calendar with B movie monsters.
Oh, okay. B movie monsters like the Killer Potato, Chud. You ever seen Chud?
Yeah, Chud. I'm a big fan of Chud. We've actually had a guest on from Chud, but it was like more like 50s, like Robot Monster.
Oh, those. Okay. Yeah. So no Bogan. You ever seen that movie Bogan?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bogan. No.
Yeah, 80s monsters.
Yeah, those. A lot of those 80s stuff was pretty cool. I check it out every now and then.
Yeah, I grew up with that stuff.
Kind of like
Chud,
look at it.
Cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers.
Yeah.
I think
Yep.
Chud is a good movie. I know a lot of people think it's one of the worst movies ever made, but I think it's a fine film.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, the people that's like will probably judge it. Well, I'm not gonna assume who's
No, a lot
doing
of
that,
people
but
hate the movies, but I like it.
Mm.
I have a thing for all those New York movies that from like the real gritty New York. I think they all have a great like feel to them.
Okay, that'll
Basket case.
I had to close the window.
Big fan of Basket.
What was that one movie? That one movie. Let's see. I forgot. Now forget. forget what that one called.
Okay, so I'm not gonna stay up real late because I gotta get up early.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you put the link out there, so I said,
you're a good man. I like talking with you.
Oh, thanks. Oh, it gives me something to do. I don't talk to people very much, so like this podcast is actually one of my biggest sources of socializing.
Well, maybe in the coming weeks you get to talk to Troy, and then when Annabelle comes back, you can talk to all of us. But for a little while, Annabelle's taking a break from podcasting, so it'll be me and sometimes me and Troy here on the show.
Oh, I hope she's okay.
Yeah, she'll be fine. She's good. But yeah. But it was a fun show tonight. I really recommend going to film festivals. Even if you're not, so sometimes we had one from New York, we had one from LA. Whoever's listening, you might not be from that area, but if you are, go check them out. But look around, there's probably a film festival somewhere near you, and they're all a good time. I say you're gonna see some
there is
stuff, and you're gonna meet some cool film fans and filmmakers.
Yeah, I just don't have enough spoons for society. I have a very very tiny battery for social energy. And it gets exhausted.
It's gonna be a bunch of like-minded weirdos. So you probably have a good time.
Oh, yeah, that's not bad people to be around. Yeah.
Okay, and you'll see a bunch of weird ass stuff, and hopefully down the line you'll see Arbor Day at the festivals.
Yeah.
Look at that. That patch rocks. I'm really happy how that patch came out.
Where'd you get the stitching done at?
So I had this made at a company actually out in California. Fully embroidered. Looks pretty rocking. Troy did the artwork, and then I vectorized it, and they and colored it. And then they made the patch.
Oh, okay.
They're self-adhesive, but then I I also sewed it on. I can sew.
Okay.
I can sew. So I'm not saying this to
cool.
brag, but I was in AP physics. I was in AP calculus, advanced placement physics, calculus, and accounting. All those things useless. Well, not accounting. That's probably pretty useful in life. But physics and calculus completely useless in life. Oh, and I know AP. I wasn't AP accounting. I was in accounting, but it was AP physics, calculus, and computer programming. So the AP
nice.
physics completely useless in life. AP calculus never come up. The AP computer programming, literally the year after I left, they stopped teaching the language I learned, Pascal. So I learned an obsolete computer language. Then the year after I left, they started
like Cobalt.
It was Pascal. So all that stuff's worth.
Pascal.
But
Perl.
Junior high, 7th and 8th grade, I had home economics. The 1 year I learned to cook. The 1 year I learned to sew. Both have come in very handy in life. So home ec.
Go figure.
It's been cut out of a lot of schools, but very useful in life. Do I need to know sine equals opposite of hypotenuse? No, it's never come up in my life. I know that.
Yeah.
I know that cosine equals adjacent over hypotenuse. Is that useful? No. Tangent equals opposite over adjacent. All this stuff is useless. But basic sewing is useful.
Well, I mean, it's useful if you have a trajectory into like STEM, which or something like that, or if you're going to go into work for Elon Musk and put rockets on Mars or something like that. I would imagine
that at 48, but
yeah, you never know. It could happen.
Pepe Petit, have a great night, everyone. Love you all. Stay hydrated and stay safe. We love you as well.
Yeah, I gotta keep my pee clear.
That's true. If you drink enough fluids, then your pee is clear. That is a good thing for everyone out there to remember. But I can't drink or eat after midnight because I've had a little blood work in the morning. So I'm gonna take off and maybe get a snack here before it gets too late.
Okay. Yeah. Stay away from that Pepsi pee. You don't want it to be too dark.
Oh yeah, no, definitely don't want that. If your Pepsi's the color of, if your pee is if your Pepsi's the color of pee, that's probably bad too. But if your pee is the color of Pepsi, that's probably very bad. If you're
that's like kidney function too,
like almost black and carbonated, that's probably a bad.
The time for a kidney dialysis or transplant or at that point.
The color of Orange Crush.
Oh yeah, that's a no bueno, senor.
Grape
no
Fanta.
Bueno at all. Oh wow, that's when you've been having the wrong kind of intermittent relations. If it comes with grape, like a green, the green. The green, when it's green, then it's time to go to the clinic. Okay.
Green,
on that note, I'll let you do your thing.
When it's green, the doctor needs to be seen.
Green urine, I don't want to see. Itching and burning, that's the life for me. No. Yeah. All right, I'm going crazy here.
Man, and we'll see you next week. For Wrestling Fans, Tuesday is In Your Head. We'll have Chubby Dudley. And then Thursday is Without Your Head, the program you're listening to now. And I'm not sure who will be on, but check out and find out. Go and join the Facebook group. It's pretty active. Subscribe here. Hit that like button. And if you want to help out and support the show, you can join the nation of decapitation here on Without Your Head. and it's just helps pay for the site. It helps pay for the live streams. There's different levels. You can get different perks, and I think it starts at $4. And at the lowest level, just for joining it all, you can use these new 8-bit emojis. Let me show you fine folks in the chat here. Help support the show. And look, you can do a little 8-bit Jason Voorhees. You can do 8-bit Leatherface. You can do 8-bit Dracula. And we got 8-bit Frankenstein's monster. Pretty cool. All right. Help out the show.
Keep making more of those.
Yeah, they're very cool. I like them.
They can become collectors. They can become collector's items.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with them. I have them on shirt. I would like to make pins with them, but enamel pins are very expensive. I actually sold a what do you call those? The non-fungible NFT. I sold an NFT one of them.
Oh, really? How much?
Yeah.
Well,
I made $12.
Oh,
$12.
Nice. Ethereum connected, huh?
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. I got a thing recently that I have to get my money out of it now, because I sold it a few years ago and kind of forgot about it, and like now I have to get the money out, and I have to connect like a crypto bank, and it seemed like a lot of work to get $12. I was like,
And also, it depends, like, if you're breaking it down to like Bitcoin and then selling it, because how it works is it goes from where it's at to the exchange to your bank account. So if you're like going to transfer it over to Bitcoin, and then you transfer it over to like whatever the like USD or whatever like the site is using as an equivalent to it, then the Bitcoin takes its fee, which is like I think $20 anytime, even if it's $21, it's $20 fee, and that comes right off the top. So if it's like $12, it probably won't even work. I could entirely be wrong, because I haven't like maneuvered crypto in months. So, and even then I was just going through Uphold and then Coinbase, but yeah, so I could be incorrect. So don't take it as the gospel.
NFTs, buying the NFTs.
It's more just people saying like, "Oh, you should get XRP. Hey, you should get Stellar. You should get it." And I'm just like, "Oh, well, I don't want to miss out. Let me grab some." And then I'm like, I don't need to put all this money in this, and then I just take it out. So, I mean, there's better things I can allocate my money towards. I'm not on some huge quest to become rich or anything like that, or I mean, I can't imagine what I would do with a whole bunch of money like that anyway. I think it would be scary to have that much money
potatoes.
Oh yeah. I know people are like scary to have that much, but yeah, I don't require much in life, so
that's good.
I think like the more money I have,
more money,
bad
more
habits
problems.
or something. Yeah, exactly.
So let's see.
Yep.
Pepe says I've got Gremlins rules tonight.
Oh, what's that?
You can't eat after midnight.
Oh, I should have caught that. I was able to catch the hey reference in the like in your head chat earlier, but I didn't catch that one. Oh,
so
darn, that one.
It was a few years ago. I went to a Gremlins and ET double feature, and Juliana, she had never seen either movie. And I was like, "How have you never seen Gremlins or ET?" I mean, that just seemed insane to me. So we went, and then so I dressed as I do, very silly. I had a Gremlins cardigan sweater on and a Gremlins hat, and then when we were leaving, this magazine or something wanted to take our picture. So anyway, it's been immortalized on this website. Look, on Jasmine, call me Jasmine. I don't even know what that is, honestly, but and look, I've got a friggin' Gremlins cardigan and a Gremlins hat. Look like a total idiot.
Oh,
I think it's pretty funny that that's on the website.
Hey man, you got the cool sweaters, man.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's pretty
Awesome
cool.
sweaters.
Here's a better picture of the hat. So this was actually hand crocheted for me. It's a stripe. It's a stripe hat.
And it does look like the Gremlin. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a stripe. Yeah, it's got the mohawk on the top.
Oh yeah, stripe. Yeah, that's yeah.
Good time. All right.
Yep.
I Drink Your Blood was made to be paired with I Eat Your Skin. Oh yeah, my mom actually has that shirt. I eat your blood. I drink your blood. I eat your skin.
Oh, so that's what the movie was with the whole rabies pies, right? The Drink Your Blood.
I didn't know that. I don't know if I've ever seen the movie.
Let me check so I don't sound like a moron here, quoting things that aren't true here. Hold on.
False news, fake news coast.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, that. Oh, yeah, I think. Yeah. That's it. That's the one.
Yeah, here's my mom with the shirt. Rabid, drug-infested hippies on a blood-crazed killing rampage. I drink your blood. See, that's why I like this crazy-ass movie. That's stuff my mom wears.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I see it right there. Eat the skin. Yeah. Let's see.
Pepe says I have an old.
Yeah, that's.
Go on. Sorry.
Oh no! Go on. I'm fine.
I'm surprised they haven't remade Gremlins yet.
Oh, they will. Don't worry.
Yeah, it'll be
they haven't ran a dry yet.
I can't imagine it being good, or I can't imagine it being better. So, like, why even bother?
That's an old ceramic ET. Oh wow, and it's still intact, huh? After all those years.
That's pretty cool. All right, time to get out of here. We'll be back next week. Thanks for zooming in, Coast, or video in, or streaming.
Oh, no problem.
Streaming in. I think that's a good word. Streaming in.
Streaming in. Yeah. Streaming in.
We're gonna play us out with Valentine Wolf. Actually, I need to find a music of the month for next month. So anybody out there, if you're in a horror band or horror musician of some kind, and you would like your music played on the show, hit me up because I need to find one by a week from today. So email me at withoutyourhead@gmail.com. And don't forget, hit the like button. If you're watching this wherever, if you're watching this on Facebook, on Twitter, on X, on Podcast After, we're live Thursdays. Come and join the YouTube page, subscribe on YouTube, like on YouTube, and the interactive chat. Not only will I can see the chats everywhere, but if you're on the YouTube chat, everyone is together. So that's really cool. And you can chat, with each other while we're live. And if you would like, and if you can, help support the show and join the Nation of Decapitation here on the YouTube page, or you can Venmo Headyverse. All right. I'm out of here, folks. And if you join tonight, as a special thank you, I will send you a Without Your Head sticker.
Oh, incentive. Incentive.
Do it up. Bye.
Do it.